move on to our Nigerian market update. The NSE All-Share Index up 0.14% today, closing at 36,006.37 points. That's a year-to-date performance of 28.23%. Total value traded decreased 42% to 4.2 billion naira. Total volume traded increased 30% to 433 million units. There were gains seen in Dangote Cement, Flour Mill, Total, Nestle, losses in Guinness, Access, Skybank and UBN. Now let's move on to discuss that market. I'm joined by Adebayo Adejumo. He's a portfolio manager at Investment One. It's very good to have you on the show with us today, Adebayo.
Thank you very
Now
much.
the market pretty quiet today in terms of the earnings season, so I believe we should perhaps talk about the Q1 results out from UBA yesterday. We saw revenue up 19.8%, profit after tax up as well. So start first of all with your thoughts on the results.
Well, let me quickly comment on the 2012 full year results, which was quite impressive. The company, that's UBA, moved from negative of about 8 billion to post profit after tax of about 54 billion. And like you mentioned, the Q1 results, 19% in top line, and the bottom line is also 19%. Really, the reaction to this stock was quite impressive. A lot of investors are really taking position when the stock was around 657 naira. So currently it's about 830. But if you look at the full year result, was quite was a superlative performance, and also the Q1 result was also good.
And so of course, we saw the market react, to that full year result. I believe that stock went up 7% after the result came out. On the Q1, it went up 2.9% yesterday. Today, up 0.4%. It looks like maybe there is some profit taken in that stock now. So what is your expectation for that stock as we approach the end of the week?
Well, basically, like I mentioned before, there was delay in the results. Took a while before the result was released. So at the time it was trading around 850, 870, 880, 680, 650, 660, and a lot of people took position. So definitely there will be profit taking. So a lot of people will take profits. It's around 820, 830 now. So there will be profit taking. But basically, if you ask me, I think the stock will stabilize between 850 and 880.
Okay, now I want to ask your opinion on the index. Of course, the Q1 earnings season is starting to wrap up, and we've seen the index reach that 36,000 mark today. It's 36,006, as I said. Now, as a portfolio manager, are you starting to see investors who are perhaps cautious about the stock market now taking an interest, thinking, oh, look, things seem to be happening here?
If you talk about investors, I think I would like to classify to have the retail investors, we have the institutional investors. The market as we speak today, retail investors are resilient in our market, basically. What's driving the market is the local institutional investors and foreign portfolio managers. So retail investors have not really come into the market. It's the institutional investors, the PFAs, the insurance companies, and the foreign portfolio managers that are really taking position.
So what do you think needs to be done to get those retail investors to come into the market?
Well, it's just, if you look at the experience in 2008, so it's because of the experience, that's why you're seeing that there's. But if you look at it in the last 2-3 months, there's a lot of improvement on the part of retail investors coming in the market. When you compare to the last, say, 1 year or 1.5 years, in the last four months, a lot of improvement in terms of the number of retail investors in our market.
Now, some say that the index has reached its high point for Q1. Do you share that view?
The market really performed very well in Q1, no doubt about it. But to say that it has reached its peak in Q1 it's very hard to make that call. But what I can say is that there are opportunities in the market. There are pockets of opportunities. Whether the market is up, whether it's down, there are pockets of opportunities. So as portfolio managers, it is your job to look at where are the opportunities, where are the stocks that are undervalued relative to their valuations, and identify these stocks and take positions.
So what do you feel could spur the market moving forward? Especially, of course, the Q1 earnings season, had a great impact on the market. So what needs to happen now?
Well, basically, we look at the interim corporate action. Banks like Access Bank, GTB will definitely declare interim dividend. So that will also help the market going in Q3. And apart from that, we also think foreign inflows will also come in, which will also drive the market. Recently, the European Central Bank cut the interest rate from 0.75 to 0.50. So you will see more foreign portfolio managers looking for greater alphas. So basically, they will look at frontier market, and Nigerian is the focus. So these more will also impact the market in Q3.
Let's touch on Guinness, who reported Q3 results there. We saw profit after tax down nearly 18%. Yesterday, the stock traded flat. Today, that stock has come down 3.5%, which I guess some would say is expected. So your thoughts on that result and expectations going forward?
The result was not so impressive, really. And you've seen investing public reacting negatively to the performance of the company. But basically, because Guinness as a stock also attracts foreign portfolio managers. So by, say, tomorrow or Friday, you will see the stock will stabilize in price because of the attraction that it has on the part of foreign portfolio managers.
However, it's quite interesting because international breweries, on the other hand, has been gaining steadily in the past week. In fact, in the past 1 week, it's gone up 11.4%. So it'd be interesting to know what is contributing to the gains that we're seeing in that stock.
Well, for international breweries, if you take time to look at the dividend history, in the last, if I'm correct, the last 4 to 5 years, the company has not declared any dividend. And if you look at the last result that they released, it was quite impressive. And there is also expectation of them coming up with a very good full year results and declaring dividend. That's why you see the stock moving up from the last 3 to 4 weeks ago.
Now, in your role as a portfolio manager, what sectors are you starting to see? I mean, of course, we know lots of investors, move towards the financial stocks. Are you starting to see some interest in perhaps other sectors that you would like to point out? Well,
basically, as portfolio managers, very good to have a broad portfolio base, have stocks in across sectors. So I'll look basically at banking. Apart from the banking, I'll also look at consumer goods. I'll look at breweries, particularly Nigerian breweries. I also look at cement producing companies like WAPCO, Dank Cement.
Dangote Cement.
Yes.
Of course, Dangote Cement is one stock that, tends to move the market a lot. Gains seen in that stock today. What are your expectations for the rest of the week?
I think if you look at the market since the release of Q1 result, the market had been up and down. For the rest of the week, I don't really see much. We will see a market trading sideways. Little people take little positions, and people that have really bought at very low will also take profit. So I think the market, on the balance of probability, the market will just remain flat.
And what about as we expect the inflation numbers to come out next week? Do you feel that this will have a significant impact on the equity space, and what impact exactly do you feel that this would have?
Well, basically, it depends on the figures. If the figure goes up, definitely it will also affect the fixed income market. The yield will probably go up, which will also impact negatively on the equities market. But if you ask me, I don't think there's going to be significant impact.
Do you think that the rate is going to go up or down?
On the fixed income
for the inflation rate?
I think it might likely drop.
It will be definitely interesting to see what happens. Adebayo, let's leave it there. Thanks for coming on the show. That was, of course, Adebayo Adejumo. He's a portfolio manager at Investment One.